All right, good day. Back in the normal. So I'm in the thick of it now. I've been kind of farting around here for a little bit, and I thought, well, now would be a good time to bring you along because I'm stumped. Right now I'm working on the AC compressor. Why? Because I don't know. Just it needs to be fixed. So I've been kind of looking at Tanya's because it's pretty much identical. Swapped some relays back and forth just to see if that was the issue. It's not. So here's what I've got so far. Let's bring you over here. So the AC, I tore apart the wiring harness there. It was pretty much all broken and brittle. You can see where I nicked the wires there a little bit. I was probing to see if there was power going to the compressor, and there's no power anywhere that I could find. Normally it would cycle on, cycle off, cycle on and off. And I'm not getting that. So I came over to the fuse panel, and it's the same. The power distribution center is the same thing. So there is an AC clutch relay, which is here, and an AC clutch fuse, which is here. And there's power on both sides of that fuse. So that tells me that the fuse is good. I know the relay is good because I just pulled it out of Tanya's rig and her AC works. So there's something else going on. So I'm going to abandon that for a minute because I almost poked my eye out. In here, I know for sure that the actuator here is not working. So this is my next little goal. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and change this. Not that it's going to have an effect on the AC relay, but you know, it is electrical of some kind. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop these little, I think they're probably 8mm or so bolts out of this. I have a new one somewhere over there in the pile of crap that I haven't got through yet. And this is your first look at the interior. So Tanya and I did it. We put carpet, everything in. I did the double din conversion on this rig too. This one's a Kenwood. Tanya's has the Pioneer. And then, you know, got the new speakers and everything in here. And the other big thing that I did is, let me get this out. I did this on my red rig, and I actually really, really liked it. If I can get oh, did we stick these down? What's sticking? Give me a second. So, fun fact, there's stickies, Velcro, on the bottom of these floor mats to keep them sliding around. I knew that. Underneath the carpet, and I'm actually excited for this, if I can get under it, we put the, hey, there's some Velcro. We put the Cool It Thermo Tech stuff down there. So I bought a whole roll of this. There you go. That's a better look. I bought a whole roll of this. It was like 75 bucks for like 6 feet by 3 feet, I think. So I had enough to do the front floor pans on both sides and then the rear floor pans. And then I bought the bed rug, just toss in carpet that you can pick up. It's on Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive, but it definitely does the trick. And that the heat shield, it says it's for sound and stuff too, but that really doesn't bother me. It's keeping the heat out. Man, you wouldn't believe the amount of heat that comes up from the bottom of this rig. So Tanya is now back to wearing flip-flops in the Jeep instead of running shoes because it was just so hot. So that's the other thing that we did. But let me root around and find this blending door flapper thing, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so in here, there's just the 3 5/32 bolts, or I used an 8mm. They just zip out. One here, one on the back, and then one on the side. And then this should, in theory, just pop out. Now, there is a drive gear, if I understand the... Oh, okay. It's got oil all over it. Oh boy. Let me sit you down for a second. Okay, let me pull this out into the light. Okay, so this is the little gear that's stuck up in there, and it's, you know, it's like the other plastic actuator gears on the older models. These will break, but I was rotating it. It's jammed up in there, and I was rotating it with my finger, and it spins. I can hear the flapper going. So I'm just going to leave that one that's in there. There's a bunch of oil on it, which I'm not too sure why, but I'm going to hook the actuator up here back to the connector and just leave it hanging and see if this one rotates. And if it doesn't, then I know that that's the problem. So give me a second here. See if I put my glasses on. Oh, that's better. Yeah, look at all that oil. You can see it. Let's turn the key on here. Yeah, that's not spinning at all in there that I can see. So let's do this. Let's disconnect this. Let's connect up the new one. Now let's, it's already spinning. Okay, so it actuated when I first plugged it in, and then it quit. Not too sure why. Okay, so once that covers off, like I said, with the 2 screws up top here, the whole thing just snaps off. And then it should just be these 2 screws right here. So because I got multiple Jeeps, that makes life super easy. I can troubleshoot stuff just by swapping parts. I don't really like to do that, but if it's going to make life easy, then so be it. Okay. One connector. The other thing I can do too is just try and clean out this connector cluster. Yeah, this rig is just filthy. Okay, let me get a little flathead screwdriver. Okay, there's some little tabs here that I can try and do without breaking. Maybe. There's one. There's 2. Okay. So this thing's pretty gummy. Okay, so I got this out. The easiest thing I'm going to do right now is just swap this with the one in Tanya's rig. So the connectors are super simple. You saw me do it. These just 2 little clips, and that pops out. This is all vacuum. And that's one of the things. If this is leaking, that's definitely the issue. I'm trying to decide if this was, this looks like it's been replaced. I don't know. Let me get Tanya's apart and see what hers looks like. This might already have been replaced once. And then the electrical connectors just have a little push tab to pop them out. So let me get Tanya's out, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so interesting tidbit. When I unplugged the one out of Tanya's rig, and they are different. So this, one of them has been replaced. When I unplugged hers, vacuum was on all of the connector, well, on some of them. On mine, there was no vacuum in there whatsoever. So now I think I'm going to be starting to chase vacuum leaks, which sucks. But let me try this and see, just in case it is it. Here, I'll bring you along for the ride here. All right, let's see if we can pull this off here. So 2 on that side. Let's plug this into here again. I have a feeling I'm going to be chasing these vacuum hoses. Yep, I got vacuum issues. Oh boy. Okay, so okay, here's what I'm finding. So I'm learning about this kind of in real time, so you'll have to excuse me. But right there's your other vent actuator, right? This black box right here. And I can see a vacuum line that's attached to it. And when I move the dash dials, nothing moves. The floor one and the defrost one on that side all actuate, but this one does not. So I'm just going to keep rooting around in the dash here and see if there's something else in here that's maybe disconnected, or, oh, that comes to the same harness. Okay, this just keeps going from not great to worse. I've been rooting around in here because I know there's a vacuum accumulator down here. Well, it's like a storage vessel. It stores the vacuum for the system. It's like a little reservoir. And I know it's back in here. Problem is this vacuum line, this has all been replaced. This is all kind of relatively new. So I know this vacuum line is pretty in decent shape. But down there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a nub sticking out. I'm gonna put a needle of those pliers on that and see exactly what that is. Hopefully it's not anything crucial. Bear with me a sec. Had to dig a bunch of crap out from down here. Oh, okay, whew, just a piece of heat shrink. That might even be me. Okay, so that's not the issue. The issue could be the line going into the cab. Let's do that. Okay, so I know I have vacuum here. I just popped this connector apart and I can feel it sucking, so that does not appear to be the issue. I hate vacuum leaks. Nothing's loose. Okay, I'm just gonna keep rooting around. Okay, so I'm in here behind the glove box. I pulled the 2 screws out of the fuse block there. I can see the vacuum hose that comes into this main connector. So I know I have vacuum on the other side of the firewall. Where I seem to lose it is somewhere in here. One of these nice multicolored lines or this, you know, something has a leak in it. I know this one does not actuate. So now it's just going to be kind of methodically pulling these off one at a time and seeing where the vacuum is. So that's my next mission. I'm just going to pull the vacuum line off this actuator and make sure that it's good to go, and then we'll just kind of keep cruising around. Okay, so little experiment. I pulled out the smoke detector, and one of you pointed out or asked where I put the smoke in last time, and I did it here, right on the intake. But honestly, the best place to do it is at the brake booster there. You just pop off that line and it goes right into the intake. So either of those 2 spots, the smoke machine comes with this bell adapter, which you can ram right in the intake there. So just by the by. But why do I have the smoke machine out? Good question. I'm checking these vacuum lines. So since I have it, I might as well use it. One thing to note, these are check valves. So what that means is they can only flow air in one direction. I pulled this one out and reversed it so that the smoke can come out. And there was another one on this side, which I just yanked out. So if you blow in it, so air goes this way. So when you hook this back in, you got to make sure that you put it in the right way so that it can suck air through, and then it doesn't let the air back out. Hence, check valve or one-way valve is what they can be called. So let's crank on this smoke machine and see what we come up with here. If everything's right, I should see. Yep, there it is. So I got smoke coming out there. So let's ram this into the cockpit, which is going to suck, but let's do that. Now we should start seeing smoke coming out here, which we do. It's wailing. Okay, so that tells me that's cleared there. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off because that stuff reeks. And I don't see any smoke coming out of anywhere else. I just want to look at the remnants of that smoke trail. Should be coming out of that guy, which it is. So the vacuum to here is good. Why aren't I getting any vacuum? I need to make my hands smaller. Okay, no vacuum so far. Let's pull off the main feed line. I don't think I can get it to come off. Not while the Jeep's running. Okay, but I know for sure I don't have any vacuum here. This is the one that feeds the vent vac. Nothing. Okay. So I just popped this connector apart. I got nothing. Before the other ones were actuating. Now nothing is actuating. So it could be that this is loose. Can be so many different things. Make sure that's not in gear again. Okay, so the main one should be that one. I don't feel anything. Should be this black one. There we go. So I think the problem is between here and out there. Okay, after some back and forth between my rig and Tanya's rig, I kind of put everything back. I've been tracing this vacuum line, and when I fired Tanya's machine up and I put my finger over the main vacuum line, which is this black one, it sucks pretty hard. Like it creates that nice suction. This one, I get nothing. So I think what my next step is going to be is to, I'm wondering if the reservoir tank down there, so I'm just going to bypass all this and just put a 90-degree in and go right into the cab and see if that's what my issue is. So that's kind of my next plan of attack. So I'll let you know how I make out. Okay, I'm back. I just went through a whole big learning exercise, which is fine. So let's start at the beginning. I went and picked up some extra fittings, as you saw. I cut this line. This actually goes to the accumulator down in the bottom. I plugged it off because I just wanted to get vacuum to the panel, which I do now. Everything seems to be functioning as it should. I get good vacuum at the panel. And now in here, let me turn on a light. I get vacuum to here and to here. So now when I actuate everything, everything moves. So there must be a leak down in that, down in the reservoir down there. So I'm not gonna hook that back up. I'm just gonna kind of leave it for now. I think cruise control and everything works. I'm gonna test it after, but this little flapper down here, this little, this flapper down here, and I didn't realize this, I should have guessed it. It's actually on temperature, so when you rotate to heat, that turns and isolates the flapper so that you get hot air. Now, I didn't do it in vain because the other one wasn't actuating the flapper all the way, so it was never blowing hot. But now that it is, my problem still remains. All the air is still coming out the vent all of the time. It slows down a little bit when you do everything. Like that's now 100% on defrost, and it's still coming out of here pretty good. But I think I can live with that just by choking these off when we're not using them. All the blending doors are actuating. The one here, the one down on the bottom, and then the one up in the middle. So the actuators are going, and I can see the blending door levers are turning, but it's just not choking the air off. So I'm not into ripping this dash out to try and figure that out. I'm just not. So we're just gonna live with it for now. So now that I've got this all kind of organized, now it's back onto how I started this mess, and that's the air conditioner. So it's still not kicking on. I'm gonna try and put Tanya's panel back in and see if that fixes it, and then I'll let you know what I find. All right, let's wrap this up. So a lot's happened, including me not knowing how to work technology and lost a bunch of footage and no audio. And so I'm just going to wrap up this video that you just kind of saw, the segments with the vacuum leaks and the air conditioner. I have made some progress, but I have to redo a bunch of stuff to bring you guys along. I'm trying. There's just not enough hours in a day. So I ended up cutting off the vacuum to the little reservoir accumulator storage vessel down underneath the battery tray for now. That seems to have solved my vacuum issues. I haven't tested the cruise control yet, but I know I have vent motion and all that good stuff. So that's not a big deal. I am gonna tear into that and see if it's that little accumulator thing, and then kind of decide a path forward. The vacuum will not hold under, you know, hard acceleration and stuff like that. And that's why that reservoir is there. It holds some storage. So when you're in those scenarios, your HVAC and your cruise control and everything will keep working. But really that's all I'm kind of sacrificing. And with the weather the way it is now, it's not a big deal. I'm not using any of that. And then I still got to tackle the AC, but I've already kind of done it. So I'll fill you all in when we get back. But that's a whole nother separate video. So that's going to do it for today. Sorry for the hodgepodge. You know the drill. It's a thing. All right. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.